Y'all, I've been waiting for this show to come out for about a year. I am now a stan of the Testaments. Hey creatives, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sharice Bryant, if you do not know, and I am a indie filmmaker and author just trying to make a dollar. And in this space, I show y'all just my creative journey with everything from getting my book published, because I am a signed author, to filmmaking, mainly developing my first short film in a very long time, and yapping just a little bit about film and TV. If that's something that interests you, make sure you hit that subscribe button and leave me some love on a video. All right, y'all, so this is the first video of Story First, which is a filmmaker's analysis on TV and film. We're gonna talk about more so what things work story-wise from a storyteller's perspective, and just some things that may not work if there are those things. And I would love to talk first about The Testaments. So for those of you who do not know, The Testaments is a spin-off of the Hulu series, The Handmaid's Tale. I'm a big fan of Handmaid's Tale. I've seen all of the seasons, and when I saw that they were developing The Testaments, I got so excited, girl. Aside from knowing I'll be an avid watcher of The Testaments, I've decided that I'm going to try my hand in writing a spec script for it. But of course, I had to watch the episodes first. I'm currently reading the book by Margaret Atwood of the same name, The Testaments. I have like about 50 more pages of this, so I'll most likely be done before the end of this first season is over. But I did want to like get a head start before the show aired on what this world is and how it's different. Of course, it's still Gilead, but this story in particular is a different perspective, and it's years after the fact when Handmaid's Tale took place. So this series is not going to be covering every single TV show or movie. Y'all can send me requests. So with that being said, just know that if it scares, I'm there. And if it's creepy, seat me. I first want to talk about adaptation choices. We all know that when things are adapted from a book for a film or a TV show, that things are going to get either pulled out or executed in a different way. And so far, what I've noticed in the first 3 episodes of The Testaments is that they are sticking to the book. They've placed some things in a different order from the book, which we'll get into because it works and it has to work. As far as externalizing the internal narration for TV, the book, The Testaments, has 3 point of views. And that is Hannah/Agnes, which is June, the character in A Handmaid's Tale. That is her first daughter. And then it has the perspective of Daisy/Jade, which is her second daughter that she had with an I. And then we have Aunt Lydia's perspective. Aunt Lydia's from The Handmaid's Tale as well. I hated me some Aunt Lydia.
Let this be a lesson to you.
But she redeemed herself, and now I like her. Well, I hope I still like her because I'm not done with the book. So I think it did a great job off rip of externalizing our internal narration, because in the book, they're all their different perspectives executed in the first person. And then in the TV show, they execute that internal narration through voiceover. Now, if you're familiar with filmmaking and screenwriting, you know that voiceover is highly advised against to do if it doesn't serve a purpose. Now, in this case, it serves a purpose, because how else will we get that internal narration from the book into the show? They did it exactly how I thought they would. I figured it would be voiceover because Handmaid's Tale has voiceover, but I did not think that they would have Hannah/Agnes's point of view first. Now, in the book, we did not start with Hannah/Agnes's point of view. I believe we started with Aunt Lydia's. I'm not gonna go back because that's too much. So for this though, it feels like the POVs are intentional in the way that they lined them up. Because if we started with Aunt Lydia's perspective, which is what, like I said, the book is like, if we started with her perspective first in episode 1, I'm not sure if we would be that invested. What we tend to forget, especially those of us who are avid readers, and when we see our favorite books adapted for film or TV, we think that like the book should just be on screen. So contrary to popular belief, a lot of books are slow burn. With that, you can't put the exposition from the book in like the first few chapters, I want to say, you can't put that on screen or you're going to have a snooze fest. I'm sorry. For one, this is about the girls in Gilead, the Plums. It's not about handmaids or the Marthas or the aunts. So why would we start with Aunt Lydia if this is about the plums, you know? So that's what the difference is with the book and TV, is that with TV, it matters a little bit more about whose story it is versus in a book where you can get away with having all these different perspectives and saying, oh yeah, it's about everyone's perspective, rather than like, no, it's about this person. I still believe for the television though that this is everyone's story, but they are kind of spotlighting Hannah/Agnes to make us feel like it is her story. I will say that. So that's just notes on the adaptation so far. When it comes to storytelling, tone, atmosphere of whatever you're writing really matters. If your reader or viewer does not know what type of tone this story is, or even like what genre it relatively belongs to, then they're gonna be lost in the sauce, girl. It's important that tone and atmosphere is established from the get-go. I will say that the first 3 episodes, that tone was there. It was very uneasy, just like The Handmaid's Tale. Gilead is not a happy-go-lucky, fruitful type of world. It's definitely a dystopian type of world that has a concrete set of rules that makes sense to them, but it doesn't make sense to the audience because we're not in that world and we also don't believe their beliefs.
Pink dresses were for little girls. Plum dresses were for older girls like us. If God blessed us with a period, then we got pins and became greens.
That's normal to the people of Gilead. The way that they showboated Chase Infinity's character around after she got her period was very uneasy and odd.
Me this day. He has saved me from barrenness. By his hand he will make me fruitful. I know he will.
It's a coming of age series in hindsight. It's just a different type in a different genre. There's a lot of psychological tension and a lot of political drama as well. So that political divisiveness is there, but it's not in our face, which makes it even more entertaining and enjoyable. There was a lot of dialogue that had double meanings, and I love dialogue like that. It's not flat, and there's always a double entendre, and we have to read through the lines to understand what these characters mean. I thought the slight shade that the girls threw in conversation was typical teenage, shade, but they wrapped it up in the way Gilead speaks. Praise be, go and graze, under his eye. I would say like the pacing, it is a slow burn, but it's not a burn to a point where it feels like hurry up and get to the point. It's more of a slow burn as in, wow, something's coming, because this world is too orderly and everyone's following the rules. Like a wrench has to be thrown at some point. That pacing was good. They set us up in the first episode with Hannah/Agnes, and she tells us exactly how Gilead has created this world where everyone abides by their rules and everyone has their place. And then eventually we get to the introduction of Daisy, which is the wrench in the plan. We are there in the story. We're not preparing for the story in these 3 episodes. Like, the story is there and it's taking us for a ride already within the first 3 episodes. Now, let's talk about character introduction, child. We introduce our characters, they need to be introduced with a bang. The character Shunammite. Oh God, girl.
Where do you hail from? Canada. Miss Shunammite. That's a beautiful name.
It is.
She's so complex, and based off like what I read about her in the book, I hope they do a little bit more with her character on TV. I don't know the fate of Shunammite because I have to finish the book. I believe the characters were introduced with clear emotional stakes.
I was a precious flower. Why did I feel like a prized pig?
The Pearl Girl program is designed to let us start anew. Welcome to my world.
With Daisy's introduction, off rip, it's like, yeah, like she just wants to be the perfect Pearl Girl. She seems like she just follows the rules, and there's something about in the way she communicates with Hannah/Agnes and with the other plums and even Aunt Lydia, where it's like, she has an agenda. We don't know exactly what it is at first, and we can tell by the way she moves that she wants something else. We just don't know what it is. Let's talk about thematic alignment. Aside from it fitting like the genre of what it's supposed to be about, but the theme. What is this show really about? There's a lot of themes within the Testaments and just the Handmaid's Tale world in general. The universal theme, the one that I believe everyone knows, is control. Controlling of women. if the theme of your story is control, we need to execute control in all ways, all avenues, throughout the characters and the plot. So what this show really is about what's beneath the plot. It's a coming of age story centered on control and how these three perspectives, how they're going to break free from the control of Gilead once and for all. And with that said, that definitely interrogates the human condition. The show did a really great job at executing that and letting us know what the theme is, not just by telling us, but showing us that, hey, this world is controlling as
You in the hood now, baby.
All right, y'all, that is enough yapping for your girl. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you watched the Testaments and you liked it or you didn't like it, comment below and let me know. Let me know if you are a filmmaker, author, what have you. Let me know in the comments what you would do differently. Maybe just for that first episode, what you would do differently to execute the control theme in Gilead. All right, y'all, that's enough yapping for today. If you enjoyed today's video, give me a big juicy thumbs up and make sure you subscribe so you can be part of the Creative Hive. One last thing, tap that bell so you can always be notified when I have a new video. This is the work, this is the motion. Let's create.